Greetings and welcome to City of Destiny, a part of the Untold Stories Project. I am your host and game master, Aaron. This is our actual play of the Emerald City Knights adventure series for Mutants and Masterminds, the world's greatest superhero RPG, from Green Ronin Publishing. First off, I'd like to give a shout out to anyone new who is watching thanks to meeting any of us during the Origins Game Fair in Columbus, Ohio. It felt great to get back to in-person gaming. I hope you enjoyed meeting us during the convention and sit back and enjoy the stream. Mutants and Masterminds is a D20-based system that allows players and game masters to create stories featuring all of the greatest heroes of their imagination in a robust system that has enough crunch to be satisfying, but doesn't require a degree in advanced mathematics to figure out if you hit or not. One of the beautiful things about Mutants and Masterminds is the inclusion of hero points. These allow the heroes to re-roll a die, take an extra action, recover from a dangerous condition, or use a power stunt to use their abilities in creative ways. Heroes start each session with one of these hero points, and they will get additional hero points for good role-playing, funny jokes, clever decisions, or for me using their complications against them, and finally, by your generosity. That's right, if you subscribe, renew a subscription, or donate bits to the stream, you will generate a hero point that can be given to the hero of your choice. We are a newer but growing streaming network, and those follows and subscriptions and likes and subscribes, if you're catching the replay on YouTube or listening to the podcast version of the show, help keep us visible and growing and pay our bills. Now, speaking of our players, let's meet them, shall we? Say hello, heroes.
Hello, heroes.
Hello, heroes.
Hello, heroes.
Hey-o.
I love that. Heroes, let's go ahead and have you introduce yourselves. Tell us your name, who you're playing, something interesting about them, and answer our question of the week, which is, who would play your character in a live action adaptation of City of Destiny? And obviously, in the case of Wiki, Professor Cephalopod would be done by CGI, but somebody has to voice him. So, and we will start with Alex.
Hi, everybody. I'm Alex, and I will be playing the part of Ethan tonight, who is trying to get away from his Darth Revan cosplay, but the welding mask is a pretty cool mask for his superhero identity, so who knows what's going to happen. He is a ferrokinetic who just got his powers in the Silver Storm last episode. So he's been a superhero for 20 whole minutes, and now he's already running from the cops and the press. It's going to be great. As for who would play him in the movie, I would like Logan Lerman, who played Percy Jackson and was most recently, as far as I know, in the movie Fury, the World War II tank movie. There's just something about him that's sort of youthful and exuberant and artistic, and I think he would be great for the role.
I can see that.
Yeah, I'll pass it over to Wiki.
I'm Wiki, and I play Professor Cephalopod. An interesting thing about him is that he is an octopus. You can't get much more interesting than that unless you put the octopus into a mech suit, which is what he is. As far as who would play him in a movie, that would be probably, would have to go with Giancarlo Esposito.
Yes.
For reasons.
That's a good guy.
For reasons. And as I did last week, I will pass to Howard.
I'm Howard. I am playing Marshall Carstairs at some point. He will be called Bulwark. like Alex's character, he's been a superhero for 20 minutes. He's a crotchety old man and surprisingly tough. And who would play him? Eli Wallach today, not in his heyday.
Surprisingly tough, as in gets hit by an SUV and doesn't feel it tough.
The SUV felt it.
They don't make them like they used to.
They don't. and Aunt Poppy.
So I'm Ann Puppy. I play Keone. I guess the interesting thing about her is that she is a art student, not by choice, more by accidental mistake. And her costume consists of bright blue hair to kind of go with the ice theme. And who would play her? I would have to say either Mila Kunis or Anna Kendrick. They both have this kind of sarcastic-y, kind of dry, funny to them. And I feel like that's kind of me. So I feel like that would be kind of projected onto the character. So it looks like that is, well, I guess you're not below me, you're over here. Am I going the right direction? Which direction? There we go. Brandon.
Hi, everyone. I am Brandon. I am playing Peter Washington, also known as Portal. Fun fact about him, Washington is not his real last name, or rather I should say not his given last name. If I were to choose someone to play him, it would have to be someone athletic, but on the kind of acrobatic side of it. And so I think a perfect fit would be Tom Holland.
It almost feels like the obvious choice, but I'll accept it.
We'll allow it this time.
Well, and just because, you know, I'd like to be a part of the fun. I'll go ahead and cast one of the 5 supervillains from last week's episode. And I guess Anna Kendrick is going to be doing double duty because I would cast Anna Kendrick to play Death Magnetic. So.
See, I would have gone Gwendolyn Christie, 100%.
For Death Magnetic?
Uh-huh.
She's very much girl next door until she gets her powers.
Mm-hmm.
If it makes you feel better, if Tom Holland was taken, my runner-up was Romeo and Juliet era Leonardo DiCaprio.
I'm into that.
Like super specific.
Yeah, that was super specific.
Did you want to narrow it down even further to like a specific scene in the movie?
No.
Okay.
Just the idea that, you know, it's not him now. It's
okay.
He was himself in his early 20s.
Sure.
Aaron, before you jump forward, I just wanted to say thank you, Minaxra, for the sub with your Prime subscription. We really appreciate that. That helps us. And you do earn a hero point that you can give to the hero or GM of your choice.
That is true.
Also, thank you, Robnix, for rating the stream with coming to say hi. I really appreciate that, too.
That reminds me, I should give everybody a hero point.
Also, Ogric apparently caught up on our first episode already, and we met him at Origins, so...
Awesome.
You are all prepared for today's shenanigans.
Well,
We have the best fans.
at least
all
as
right,
prepared as we are.
When last we saw our heroes, the 5 of them were strangers to one another. Some of them were ordinary citizens of Emerald City. Some of them were superhumans who were not yet public about their presence in the city, who felt the call to adventure when disaster struck, and some of them were giant octopi with genius-level intellects. All 5 of our heroes were either already on site or made their way to the Yellow Brick Row after an explosion occurred, releasing a phenomenon that can only be described as the Silver Storm onto the city. This storm caused massive property damage, injured possibly hundreds, and appears to have turned others into superhumans. Our heroes leapt into action, rescuing and assisting people who were being harmed by the disaster. There was a little bit of the typical misunderstanding / mistaken identity conflicts between the heroes that we are so familiar with from the comics. But all of those were put aside when a much more blatant threat made itself known. Because there were 5 stormers who were on a rampage. 3 of them seemed to be acting maybe instinctively or temporarily maddened by their transformation, but 2 of them, who dubbed themselves Lord Etheric and Death Magnetic, were clearly in full-on supervillain mode. Our new band of heroes managed to take down these stormers, and that is where we left them. As the police, the paramedics, the press, and an adoring public were making their way towards the heroes. And Manaxera, you may absolutely give the villain point to the game master if you so wish.
Rude.
As somebody who received 2 Game Master hero points last night, I appreciate it.
As someone who has to deal with them tonight, you probably don't appreciate it as much.
Nah, hurt my feelings. I'm here for it.
As I said, you are all still gathered in the center. Well, you're not all in the center of the street. 2 of you are up on top of a roof. The rest of you are on the street as the 5 villains have been defeated. And now police and paramedics are finally starting to get through. Some of them because of a portal opened up by Portal. Others just because the crowd is dispersed enough that they're starting to, be able to get emergency vehicles through. In addition, there's a lot of, just crowd of people who have been watching this, who are, doing the rhubarb. Who are these people? Who are these costume folks who are, not that all of you are in costume, but, who are these new superhumans in Emerald City? So what do each of you wish to do as you see this descending throng?
I look around for wait, you know what? I can get a new tennis ball. I don't need my own tennis ball back.
When I see the police, I immediately put my hands up in the air.
Okay.
I'm gonna look at Keone and be like, well, Ice Princess, you're wearing a costume, so I hope you have fun with the press. And I'm gonna grab a DirecTV dish off this roof and fly away.
You just ruined someone's day even more.
That's why Facebook went down.
I'm going to walk over to Portal. I'm going to say, young man, I'd like to come back and vouch for you, but I can't do it without a shirt on, and I can't do it without a mask on. Can you get me over there? I can get a T-shirt or something and just then I'll come back.
I create a portal to where he wants to without actually moving my hands.
Okay.
I'm just pointing to any of the stores where I can walk in and buy a T-shirt.
Or
where I can pick one up off the floor and leave at 20.
That might be easier right now. So Portal is holding his hands up. Marshall is getting a T-shirt.
And if I can get something to use as a mask, all the better.
I'll say that you can find at least like a pair of like wraparound sunglasses that will do well enough in a comic book sense.
Well,
it hasn't. You can cut holes in.
It's been long enough too that the stores have been abandoned that Spirit Halloween's probably already taken over. So
it is October.
So I'm pretty sure you're safe.
Get yourself a pair of those really big Elton John glasses.
Yeah.
No one will see your face.
Grab a William Shatner mask. That always works.
Turn it inside out, paint it white. All right, so yes, Ethan flew off. Marshall is getting dressed. Peter is standing there with his hands up, not at all making himself look suspicious and guilty.
Yeah, right?
What is Professor Cephalopod and Keone doing?
Well, Professor Cephalopod is going to go around. He's not sure what all these other people are doing, but he's going to go around and collect the bad guys into one spot and then start looking for damage to control.
Okay. So you're going to help gather up the supervillains and then go back to assisting people in damage control and all that stuff?
Correct.
Okay. Keone, what are you doing?
So seeing as now that I am alone at the top of the building, I'm going to change myself out of my costume and I'm going to sneak down the fire escape on the side of the building so that I can sneak into the crowd of people and see where I can help. But I don't want to be visible to people.
Okay.
Trying to stay under the radar, I suppose. But I still don't want to leave and abandon everybody that needs help or assistance, but I don't want it to be superhero me doing it. I want just regular me doing it.
Okay. I will point out that superhero you is probably more able to deal with, fires and people trapped inside of rubble, but that's fine.
Trying to keep a low profile. My intention was not to be a superhero. It just
I think you blew that.
Just happened.
It just happened.
Blue. Like her hair.
All right. So, Professor Cephalopod, as you are gathering up the supervillains, you do see a couple of people in Aegis uniforms pushing their way through the crowd up towards where all of this is going on. You're familiar with those uniforms.
Yep. I might even be familiar with the people in them.
Probably not specifically. You weren't.
They're not important enough.
Well, they're also from a different area. So.
Right, I was gonna say they're from a different area, so probably not, but it's easy for you to figure out who's in charge. They're coming forward. There's a couple of people who have, power dampening cuffs, who are going over to the stormers. They kind of, they kind of look at the giant octopus and they're not quite sure what to say other than good work.
Good afternoon, agents. And then I will do the quick rundown of the ones I know, what they do, and then go back to lifting cars and bricks. And
Can I put my hands down? They're getting tired.
So there are officers who are looking at you who they say, we thought you were one of the people who tried to stop this.
I did. I didn't want any misunderstandings.
Okay. So, yeah, put your hands down.
Thank you.
There's a pair of officers who are kind of walking up towards Portal right now. One of them looks like he's maybe in his late 40s, early 50s, somewhere in there. He's got a little bit of that weather-worn, been on the force for a long time kind of look to him. With him is clearly his new partner, who, if he's been out of the academy for 6 months, you'd be stunned. Kind of in awe and
Bring your child to work day.
Kind of, yeah. But the older officer walks up and says, I'm a patrolman Brown. They call me Buster. You're new around here, aren't you?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we've been mostly Cape free in this town for a while, but when something like this happens, it's certainly a nice thing to see folks like you stepping up. You guys a team? You know each other?
No. And I have some potentially bad news. That whole this kind of thing is rare. I think that might have just changed about 15 minutes ago.
At this point, the rookie speaks up. He says, "Yeah, that tracks. I mean, we're getting reports that there's been other outbreaks around the city as some of that silver mist is like settled all over. So, yeah, I think we got a whole bunch of new supers here. Hopefully, they're more like you and less like those guys over there." Rook, it's okay. Like my partner said, he's not wrong. We are getting reports that there's more of this happening. So hopefully you guys are planning to stick around.
Is it under control at the moment? Do you need, I kind of look around and say, our help?
I think right now, I mean, we're getting reports scattered around the city, but obviously most of the focus is going to be here because there's any gestures at the destruction and the casualties and
well, I'm definitely happy to help in whatever fashion you would like. Should we call my PO now or after?
PO?
Yeah, there was a reason I held up my hands to make sure there wasn't a misunderstanding. Didn't know how much you guys knew about the goings on back in Freedom City.
Kind of outside of our jurisdiction.
I'm not currently in any trouble.
As far as I'm concerned, what happened in Emerald City happened in Emerald City.
Okay.
Let me know when I get back.
Okay, yeah. Let's say you can be walking up as Portal is having the discussion with these two officers.
Did I hear PO?
Yes.
I'll walk up and I'll say, officer, this young man conducted himself incredibly civil-minded, jumping in to help people. Whatever he's done before, he's obviously on the right path to a better course of action and course of life. So
let's go help some people.
Okay. Professor Cephalopod. Yes, the agents kind of they kind of brusquely thank you and then take care of putting power dampeners on the 5 unconscious stormers and leading them away. You do hear some of them muttering under their breaths a couple of different thoughts, including where are we going to put these guys? And some bemoaning about the fact that a formerly cushy posting has suddenly looks like it's going to be a lot more busy. And a couple of comments about, meddling vigilantes who are going to end up being more trouble than they're worth.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much.
So,
As they're being escorted away, I do a double take on both Darth Magnetic and Lord Ethereum.
okay.
Either of them cute.
I mean, Lord Etheric is kind of cute in that skinny, pale goth boy way.
Oh, gross.
But also in that, wow, you are going to be so much drama to be around kind of way.
I give him a wink.
Death Magnetic is kind of hard to describe. She clearly
Like Anna
was
Kendrick, she's a yes.
girl next door pretty.
I'll give her a wink.
But there's a sneer that seems to be permanently on her face at this point that kind of mutes some of that attractiveness and kind of makes her
A little unsettling.
a little unsettling. Yeah, so
What do you kids call that now? Resting witch face?
it's exactly it.
Bad girls, bad boys. I have bad taste.
I
Apparently.
mean, clearly.
Who wants to date a superhero?
Nobody, if they're smart.
Right. All right, so Patrolman Lee looks to Portal and Bulwark and says, so is there some way that we can let the chief know how to get in touch with you guys?
Well, and I reach into my pocket, I pull out my wallet, I hand him the contact information for my PO. He's got all my contact information.
I'm working on it.
Okay.
For those who play,
Do I
role-playing game,
hear
I
any
did
of
not
this
take it to
conversation?
identity.
I'd say you probably hear bits of it. What would you be doing after you've helped them secure the villains?
Just looking for general damage
Stuff.
that needs help, just stuff that needs doing.
Okay. I mean, there's definitely still people trapped. There are still like ambulances that are trying to get through. But and there's still fires that are set, and
Well, we'll go take care of some of those fires and maybe move some debris out of the way so the emergency vehicles can come in.
I'll do what I can to help, push cars out of the way, carry people if need be.
I'm going to
Okay.
continue creating portals to allow the emergency folks in, and creating other portals like right next to fires to make it easier for the fire department to kind of really target their hoses.
At one point, when I have a chance, when there's nobody else within earshot, I'm going to ask Portal, like, what do I call you, son? I can't call you young man.
My name's Peter. My other name, people call me Portal.
Okay. I don't have another name yet. Though when I figure one out, I'll let you know.
Okay. He holds out his hand to shake.
So call me whatever. Call me Gramps for the moment.
Okay. Sure thing, Gramps.
But
okay. So at this point, you are also seeing the members of the media appear.
I don't want to talk to them.
You don't want to talk to them?
No.
Okay. So
I do want to talk to Professor Cephalopod at some point.
Okay.
Maybe when we're both like pushing a car or two out of the way to make room for an ambulance.
I mean,
what do I call you?
Here often?
Pardon?
You're just like pushing things out of the way, going, "Hey, you come here often?"
Yeah.
No, you guys can definitely have some time if you wish to talk to each other. For the most part, the police are more than anything trying to make sure to keep people away from the debris and away from disaster sites. So you guys have a little bit more freedom to move around without having people swarm you.
Okay.
Go ahead, and anyone who is still on site, so everyone other than Ethan, and give me an insight check.
Not terrible. I got a 10.
Why am I not seeing? Oh, there it is.
Hold on, I have to find my character sheet.
Oh, yay, I got a 17.
14.
15.
Okay. So Keone and or I guess Cindy and Marshall, you can both definitely tell that whatever feelings the cops might have about the, well, 3 visible heroes, the people definitely seem to be appreciative. They're watching you guys, and there's a lot of appreciative murmurs, a lot of talk about hey, who are these new heroes? Are these going to be the new hometown heroes for Emerald City? You guys, Cindy, you do notice a man making his way through the crowd with a little flip notebook, introducing himself to people as Eddie Pollard from the Emerald City Courier Express, asking people for eyewitness accounts, asking people to tell them what they've seen and what happened. And, he's a man kind of in his late 30s, glasses, has a cigarette hanging from his lips, but it's not lit. Way too skinny, looks like he probably misses a lot of meals because he's staying at a desk working on a story. But
Cindy, have you caught any of our eyes to let us know that you're you and not?
So Brando.
I am trying to avoid that. So I'm kind of slowly going through the crowd, kind of pushing my way through people, kind of doing little tiny snowstorms over some of the fires, just without people noticing, just so I can kind of get a feel for what's going on and what's around here, and
Okay.
not wanting to be a focal point.
Oh, I could have swore there was a fire over there a second ago. Oh.
Welcome.
You guys will also see that the Channel 12 news, their van pulls up, and Caleb Gardner gets out. He's the nightly news host, kind of that remarkably bland middle American look kind of guy to him. He could be the host of any news program anywhere across the United States.
For people tune in for news, not for personality.
Exactly. Although he's not much of a reporter, he's just a newsreader.
Yep.
And he's filming it with and talking about on site of the disaster at Yellow Brick Row, and the emergence of 5 supervillains who seemed intent on wreaking havoc and causing property damage and the loss of lives when 5 heroes appeared to stop them. 2 of those heroes have dispersed, but 3 of them seem to still be actively trying to help clean up the damage. Who are these new heroes? Are these the sentinels that Emerald City needs? That kind of rant, and then the producer kind of looks at him and says, "That looks good, Eddie, we've got it." He says, "Great, keep shooting some B-roll, and then we'll run it tonight."
I'm going to text Lisa, are you all right? And I am. We'll meet you at my condo as soon as I can.
Okay. She immediately texts back of, "Fine. You're all right. You got hit by a car." And
We'll
then
talk.
"I saw you on the news."
Oh, you're in trouble now.
Without a shirt.
A few seconds later, yes, without a shirt.
Don't
Oh,
ask.
She's going to need therapy now.
So much therapy.
Just
Oh.
pray your mother doesn't see that. I will Sorry. When I have a second, I will get Professor Cephalopod and say, one, what do I call you? You know my name. And two, how do you know my name? But three, do we need to have that discussion elsewhere?
Let's work our way backwards. Yes, Seth, later.
Okay.
Okay.
I will rattle off, here's my number if you need to text me if we get separated before we have a chance to talk again. But I'm gonna do what I can to help.
One of the
Okay.
little like utility arms up toward the back comes down and like delicately takes the piece of paper or the card or whatever it is and like spins and disappears inside the arm and then comes back out empty.
Well, that's handy.
Uh,
The pun.
uh,
The pun.
Nice try.
don't make it worse.
All of a sudden,
Portal.
I'm glad I'm not there.
I found a whole new list of ice puns. So.
Okay, so it takes, it'll be a couple of hours if you guys are willing to stay that long. But after a couple of hours, it certainly has gotten to a point where the cleanup at this point is more cleanup and no longer active disaster recovery. There's still damage to buildings. There's still, lots of messes to clean up. But after a couple of hours, certainly with the help of the three of you, well, four of you, although one of you is doing it quietly. You're certainly able to get to a point where you guys can absent yourself without, even the crowd has started to disperse because there's no longer anything exciting happening. It's just superheroes, moving rocks.
I really wish that blue-haired woman was still here. My shoulder could really use her touch. But
At
actually,
some point during the time that we're doing this, I will make my way over to the reporter, the one with the notepad, the one who looks like an actual reporter rather than just a talking head.
That would be Eddie.
And I will let Eddie know that, as you can see by today, if there is ever trouble in the Emerald City, you can count on the Octo Squad to help. And that's when I will leave.
I'll hear that and go, oh God, I hope that's not our name.
There's not 8 of us. There's only 5 of us. We're the Penta Squad.
They don't know that.
I'm an octogenarian.
I'm an octopus.
Okay.
When it comes time to go, I'll ask Portal. I'm like, I can't move fast enough to get out of here without being followed. I hate to impose. Can you just get me? Well, I'm that way, but out of here.
I can get you anywhere that I can see within 2 miles. So you just tell me which direction and.
Well, let's just go up that way, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Thank you.
See you later. I guess.
Okay.
I'm kind of, since I'm still there, but not quite as visible, I'm just kind of watching where everyone's leaving to as a point of reference to kind of be able to potentially find them again. Not sure of who actually has had their powers the whole time, but hoping that maybe they can help me on my quest.
And
So-
Peter, I would give you my number.
Okay. Cindy, I would say that, because of the way Portal, makes jumps, it would be difficult for you to really get a sense of which direction Portal and Marshall are going off in.
Right.
But if your ice slides are considerably faster than Professor Cephalopod flies, so when they're ready to fly away, I would say that if you want, you could even sneak out into an alley, change again, and catch up to him if you wanted to catch up to him and exchange notes.
Probably.
Before I dive into the nearest body of water.
Before they dive into the nearest body of water. Or if you just want to see where they're going, then you would basically notice that they will move out to the river and then go, or out to the bay and then go into the bay.
Seems
If
about right.
nothing stops me, I'm actually going to create a portal back to campus and back to the quad where I was at, and begin picking up the flyers and strewn all over the ground.
Because you need this job.
It's been a couple of hours. Those flyers are long since scattered.
I'll pick up whatever are remaining, using itty bitty portals when they're far away to just put them right in my hand.
Dang millennials.
Yep. Meanwhile, what has Ethan been doing as all of this craziness has been happening?
90% freaking out, 10% trying to get home to tell his best friend what the heck just happened.
Okay.
I've got the direct TV dish above my head, and it's carrying me very roughly through downtown.
So you're hanging from it, not riding on top of it?
I am hanging from it because I haven't figured that out
Giant
yet.
umbrella.
Yeah, it's like a very aggressive Mary Poppins.
With a welding mask on.
Hey y'all, I'm Mary Poppins.
Darth Mary Poppins.
I'm Darth Mary Poppins.
Darth Poppins. Darth B. Poppins.
Darth Mary Poppins, y'all.
Crash, bang. No, bump, thump. Until I land roughly on the campus of Mallory College. And put my welding mask back in my backpack and just book it for my dorm.
Okay. I will be kind and allow you to find someplace quiet to land without being seen.
Quiet thud.
You large person in a welding mask floating around on a dish.
All right, so you make your way back to campus, and your roommate is sitting there glued to the television. Pulling out his laptop is open, and he's typing away, doing Google searches on all of these new heroes, and he says, "Ethan, you're back! Hey, thank goodness! Did you see this? This was crazy."
Tommy, I'm a superhero. Shh.
What?
Look, and I'm gonna slam the door, probably too loud, and bolt over to the computer, and I'm gonna pull it up, and I'm gonna see if he's looking at the guy in the hoodie with the welding mask.
Sorry, what was that? I couldn't hear it.
I'm gonna look and see if he's looking at the guy in the hoodie with the welding mask on.
At the moment, he's got a picture of Keone, zoomed in real close.
Tommy.
Yep.
Tommy, you didn't even put a sock on the door, man.
Oh no!
Dude, I mean, well, okay. Anyway, wait.
Ew.
Boys are gross.
So you
Look, back up. I'm gonna go to his computer and just back up the frames a few seconds. Thinking that it's probably me and Keone on the roof together, since that's when the press showed up.
Yep.
I'm gonna point at the red hoodie I'm wearing.
That's you?
It's me. I don't know what happened. I was in a bus crash, and oh my god, I was in a bus crash, and then I walked over to this car, and I was a Jedi. I ripped the door off, and I saved a baby, and then I took the baby, and then I gave the baby back because that was probably not a good idea to steal somebody's baby as my first act as a superhero. And then I put my welding mask on, and then this magnet chick threw a car at me, and and then I stole somebody's DirecTV dish.
Chill.
Very specifically DirecTV.
Oh.
You're a Jedi?
Yes.
I don't know if I'm a Jedi. I mean, okay, so like, and I'll look for something metal in the room with my new special super senses.
I mean, sure, there's lots of metal stuff in the room.
And like, I'll look over at the toaster and I'll pick up my hand and make the toaster fly over and hit me probably in the head, because I'm not good at controlling it yet.
Oh. Wait, so can you do like other things? And he like holds up a move this book.
He throws it at your head.
I'll put my head to my hand and I'll hold my hand out, Jean Grey style, and just focus really hard, and nothing happens.
And nothing happens. Well, maybe you're like the Green Lantern and it doesn't work on anything made of wood.
Well, get a book that's not yellow.
No, the other Green Lantern, the real one, the older one.
God, you're such a superhero snob, Tommy.
Whatever.
Do you think I'm like Dr. Fate? I need a helmet. I have a helmet! And I'll sort of whip my welding mask out of the back.
So, wow. Well, we've got to run tests. We've got to. I need a blood draw.
What?
Well, okay. I'm not going to do a blood draw, but are you going to tell your mom?
No, I'm not going to tell my mom.
But, like, she knows this sort of thing.
I mean, yeah, but, like, she's my mom, man. You're not supposed to tell your mom you're a superhero. Everybody knows that.
Well, okay, all right. Well,
It's like
hold
rule
on.
1. You can't tell your mom, you can't tell your girlfriend. I don't have a girlfriend, so...
No, you don't have a girlfriend, but, anyway. Maybe...
And you can't tell anyone. I'm just telling you because, like, you're smart and, like, a science guy, and you let me cheat on your test anyway, so, like, maybe we can, like, be partners or something.
Well, hold on. Let me think about this. What if I brought you to my internship? I mean, not like during class, but like, or not like during work hours, but like, what if like I brought you in there at night so we could like run tests?
Okay, that's probably a good idea as long as nobody finds out. What's security like there?
I mean, it's not bad security, but I've got a pass. I can get you in.
I need a costume.
You do need a costume.
Okay.
And then he goes back to the to the laptop and spins around, does the guy in the chair thing, and he pulls back up the picture of Keone. Can you ask her who her tailor was?
I didn't exchange contact information.
Well, what about the? You know what? That's not your aesthetic, anyways. What about the octopus? Maybe he could make you something.
I didn't exchange information with the octopus either.
All right.
I know the old guy's name.
Okay. What's his name?
I'm probably not supposed to say.
Look, if you're going to tell me your secret identity, you can tell me the other secrets.
That's not true. Probably. I don't know. What would Batman do?
I don't know. Batman's a douche.
I'll tell you what. If I find the old guy again, I'll ask him if it's okay for me to tell you.
You need a name.
Yeah. We need to figure out what I can do because Jedi guy is probably taken. I don't know what that.
Yeah, right now the internet's calling you Darth Magnet, and I don't think you want to go with that.
Darth Magnet?
Yeah.
That's a bad name.
That's a terrible name.
The internet is a horrible PR team.
It is. Well, none of you stuck around to like introduce yourselves or talk to the press or anything.
How am I supposed to talk?
That's what we need. We need a PR.
I was wearing a hoodie.
You know what we should do? You should talk to Riley.
Why should I talk to Riley?
She's a communications major.
Hmm.
I mean, I know she's, your stepmom,
She's
but
not my stepmom. She's my dad's wife. It's different.
whatever. She could help.
All right. Maybe. You start. All right. You get to work on the intern thing. I'm gonna go down to the forge for a little bit. I need to make some art and try something.
Forge. He pulls up his keyboard and starts typing, goes over to thesaurus.com.
That feels familiar.
Forge. That's it. Right there. And he's pointing to the screen.
What's it? And
That's your name.
And I'll sort of lean over, and I'll see the word crucible, and I'll sort of nod and say, "Yeah, I think you're right, Tommy. I've got work to do."
All right.
And, put a sock on the door if you're gonna, do that in public.
Dude, I was... Okay, Darth Magnet.
You can make him one out of tinfoil. Just float it over there and drop the doorknob.
And I will, I'll go scramble off to go start working on my costume.
Okay. All right. So that's what Ethan is doing. That will take him at least to the time after the heroes have scattered. Once you guys go your separate ways, where does everyone head? I mean, obviously Cephalopod goes back to his base.
Octocave.
His octocave.
Actually going to hang out in the bay for a little bit and activate one of the little, I'm sure I have some sort of little spy things specifically for the kids because I
Okay.
need to check on them.
Sure, I can allow that.
So gonna pull up my little interior floaty screen and check on the kids basically.
Okay. So so when you check on the kids, Damien is in his room. He is laying on the bed. He has headphones on and is blasting music, staring up at the ceiling, bouncing, doing the bouncing a ball off of a wall in anger kind of thing.
Fairly standard.
Fairly standard. Diana, on the other hand, trying to think how good your spy tech would be. Diana has gone. I'm going to say that you've got the ability to kind of like follow. We're not using a nanny cam in their bedroom so much as we're using comic book science spy tech.
It's probably like a spy camera sized thing, but it's got like little legs.
Little octopus legs.
Yeah.
So the little spy camera seems like it is perched outside of the campus hospital for ECU. where Diana is there trying to see if there is anything she can help for the people who have been brought in as their bodies are adjusting to strange mutations and strange,
All the
trying to.
nonsense that just happened.
Yep. So.
Okay, but they seem safe.
Yes. Neither of them seem to have been anywhere near this.
Okay. Once I'm sure of that, I'll head back to the lab.
Okay. All righty.
I am going to, once I've gathered up the ones that I can find, head back to work, to the headquarters of work, drop off the ones that aren't utterly destroyed and recycle the rest. And then what time is it now? Is it evening?
It's getting into early evening at this point, yeah.
Okay. So I guess my work day is done. So I'm just gonna head home and make a stop at the hang out at the bar near my house and get a drink, because what a day.
Okay. So when you stop at the bar, I will obviously the TV is turned to the news that is recapping everything that happened. You do notice that the cameras were not able to get close-ups of either you or Marshall's faces as you were busy doing your work. So your secrets should still be safe. You are now actually able to see what you were not able to see because you weren't on site, of not the truck exploding. No one has footage of that, but you see eyewitness reports who were close enough to witness the explosion. You can see footage of the wreckage of the truck, which you can still see part of the Redshift Energies logo on the truck. And you are also, you hear on the news the talk about the fact that while the nexus of the superpowered emergences was where the explosion took place, that there have been other strange sighting and incidents coming in through various hotlines all around the city, which suggests that whatever happened, its effects did spread some, just without the massive property damage and destruction. So.
Okay. Gonna just try to see the footage they've got of the truck.
Okay.
Any way to tell, like, was it an explosion from inside the truck? Was the truck attacked?
Sure. I'll accept a perception, or if you have any relevant expertises, roll of something.
We'll go with perception.
Okay.
Let's see. Ooh, that's a 7.
It
that truck is
exploded.
that truck explode.
Truck explode. But hey, Marshall seemed to know his way around machines.
So yeah, maybe. Well, I will go ahead and get out my phone. Set it down at the bar next to me, because I am at any moment anticipating a call from either or my PO or Raven. And so I will text Gramps. See, I don't have his real first name. And say, hey Gramps, it's Peter. Did you get a look at the truck? At kind of, I mean, did it explode out? Was it attacked?
I would have given you my first name. I would have said, call me Gramps if we're where you can be overheard.
Okay. So yeah, Marshall, it's Peter. You seem to know a lot about like engineering and stuff like that. Did you get a look at the truck? Did it look like it exploded out? Did it look like it was attacked, blown up from the outside?
When I catch up to your text, I will let you know.
Right, I was gonna say, before we deal with that text, let's go back over to Marshall. And after Peter drops you off, you're heading back to the condo?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So as you're walking to the condo, now that, you know, adrenaline has started to die off and the combined, you know, threats to your life, threats to other people's lives, and just the hard work of, you know, lifting things and moving things and all of that is over, you're able to, for the first time, really appreciate how good you feel.
And the fact that I'm walking without my walker.
Right, exactly. You're walking without your walker, and you know, Howard, you and I are both older than most of the rest of our cast. You know, there's so many little aches and pains that you just kind of get used to as you get older in life. You know,
Probably like stop and look like I'm twerking. Just, you know, shift the hips back and forth. You know, pedal the knees a little bit. Like, what's Grandpa shaking his ass on the street? It's like, because it doesn't hurt.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's exactly it. It's like, wait a second. My ankle always hurts.
Yeah.
And now it doesn't.
Even my artificial hip hurts. And now it doesn't.
Right, yeah. You know, you don't have super speed, but it sure feels like you're walking a lot faster than you ever have.
And if nobody's like on the street or whether the short street that I'm on, I might like lean against the car and see if I can nudge it just a little bit.
So moving a car is about the upper limits of your strength right now, but yeah, you can.
How?
So
I'm going over in my head the physics of bag of flesh versus metal sitting in one position. You know, physics doesn't compute. You know, I should not be able to get it to budge, much less push it forward, you know, a foot.
right.
And yet.
And
And
yet,
yet.
yeah, and yet an SUV hit my back and wrapped itself around me.
Mm-hmm. Now, I will say that as much as, you know, the physics doesn't compute, you know, superhumans have been around your entire long life. So
I know,
it's not,
but as a scientist, they piss me off.
I get
Because
that.
science is supposed to be science. You can prove it. You can depend on it. You know, there are physics to what can and cannot go up in the air, and I'm going to fly because I'm thinking about it. That pisses all over science. It drives the scientific community mad.
It does.
And while I'm thinking about it, I also know what the government might do if they had their choice.
Yep.
Howard is the only person more upset than the guy whose DirecTV dish I stole when I flew away.
I mean, the guy whose DirecTV dish you stole could probably think that the TV dish got damaged in the explosion or during the fight.
No, I know how it works. He's going to
Until he
come back
watches
as a
the
super
news
villain.
Looking,
Origin story.
looking for a payback. All I could watch that night was the Kardashians. I hate you.
And he will return as Dishman.
Yes, man.
I am the steel
But-
dish.
I
am
will put that off for the moment,
The
and I will
stream.
get back to the condo.
Okay. So when you get back to the condo, Lisa's there. She's got the TV set to one news channel. She's got her laptop open, streaming a different news channel.
My
And
computer's streaming a third.
your computer is streaming a third, and she's on her phone scrolling through Twitter and news feeds trying to get every bit of information she can about what happened down there.
Like, are you all right?
Yes, I'm fine. Are you all right?
Hold that thought. I'm gonna go pour us each a couple fingers of whiskey.
Okay.
Although it might be sake. I probably developed a taste for it when I was in Japan.
Works.
To still being here and to whatever the fuck happened. And
Yeah.
I don't curse. So that should, well, Marshall doesn't curse. Howard has a potty mouth.
Right.
It was our one.
Sorry.
So I mean, she kind of pokes you. What happened?
I don't know. But did you see the tiger lady? She had claws this long.
Yeah.
That's where my shirt went.
They're calling her the mongoose.
Do I have, and I'll pull up do I have marks on my back?
No. And she'll show you, she'll go over to the computer and pull up a YouTube video that was before you guys had gotten to where they were rampaging.
Yep.
And someone caught video of the mongoose's claws ripping through a cinder block of a wall. I mean, look at that.
Like, that's where my shirt went. And I barely felt it.
So who are they? Pointing to the other
heroes?
Yeah,
Or the other bad guys?
the other heroes.
He's Portal. He's a teleporter. Seems to be a good guy. They were calling him a Sith. What is a Sith?
You remember?
It's a Star Wars thing.
It's a Star Wars thing, yeah.
Okay. He can do something with metal. The woman in blue has cold abilities, and
Elsa?
Elsa, is that her name?
No, it's another movie. Don't worry about it. Go on.
But the octopus knew my name. The octopus called me Marshall.
How did the octopus? Are you friends with an octopus? I mean, I know you've lived a really interesting life, Grandpa, but
I gave him my number. He's supposed to call and tell me how he knows my name.
Are
Standing
you
in the
now,
middle of
or
it is-
have you ever been friends with an octopus?
Standing in the middle of the disaster area, surrounded by police and reporters, didn't seem the place to say, "Hey, how do you know who I really am?" I don't remember an octopus.
Okay.
I think you remember that.
I don't know. It depends on just how much he likes sake.
That's a good point.
So, do you think these powers are going to go away the same way they just appeared?
I don't know. I hope not. Actually, I feel fantastic. I feel like I'm 50, and I didn't feel like this when I was 50. But you have to promise me one thing. You cannot tell your mother.
Obviously. And she kind of taps the sunglasses that you're still wearing. These are not going to work.
No.
We have got to get you.
I lost my shirt. I had to do something.
No, I get it, but we have got to get you a proper costume.
And apparently I need a name.
And apparently you need a name.
So it's
I don't
not
know.
going to be
The Shield?
No.
The wall.
No.
Ah,
Bulwark. I built those with the Army Corps when we were in Vietnam. It's a military fortification. And they'll
yeah.
probably start going on about specifics, and our eyes will glaze over as
Right,
he
right.
gets into far too much detail.
So she starts nodding as she pulls out a sketchbook and starts sketching costume designs.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm starving.
I was going to say, we need to eat. You need to eat. I'm ordering pizza.
So at some point after our pizza, I will get a text, but we can
Yep. Let's
see what Keone's doing first.
Yep, let's bump over and see what Cindy's doing.
Cindy has attempted to make her way back to campus to school,
She can do that.
realizing that she still has to get her stuff.
Right.
Yep.
She has to somehow get into the closed and locked library to get her things so that she can get back into her apartment.
So it is a Saturday. It is a campus library. They're open late. So you can get back into the library. It's not a problem. If it was a Sunday, you'd be in trouble.
I would be screwed.
But it's a Saturday, so the campus library is open until fairly late at night. So
Okay, so I'm back. So I make it back to the library, kind of sneakily going through with my ice powers, trying to avoid being detected.
Yep.
I grab my things and head back to my apartment. I guess not really an apartment, my dorm.
Dorm room. Yeah. I mean, you could probably have an apartment if you want.
I'm an art major. I live in the dorms.
Okay, fair.
I lucked out and haven't been assigned a roommate yet. So it's just me and my current residence.
Okay. Well, you have a roommate, but they're a cheerleader and they're always with their boyfriend, and
so no roommate. It's fine. Never have to worry about her.
Well, it's one of those, you've got a roommate, but for all intents and purposes, you have a double room as a single.
Yep, which is nice. But basically, I go back and go into research mode to see if I can figure out who those people are.
Well, there is lots of news stories covering all of you right now.
And I kind of saw where, Octopus Man went.
Yep.
And kind of got a feel for that and started looking into, seeing as I thought that, Octopus Man was just a old wives' tale to scare freshmen. And not realizing that it was a legitimate human thing.
How long before J. Jonah Jameson published his article discovering my connections back to Freedom City?
Brandon.
So as I'm going through searching,
I wound you by knowing exactly what you're planning.
Yes.
Yes.
But I also call my adoptive parents and let them know that I'm okay.
Okay.
Since although they aren't my real parents and I'm on a journey to find them, they're still my parents. They're still my mom and dad. So call in and check in with them and make sure they're okay and let them know that I'm okay. But just basically spend all night researching, trying to find where all these other weirdos are.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, you're definitely able to get the news. You're able to see the same things through the news that I described for Portal. about being able to see the immediate effects of the explosion, to see the truck in a way that you weren't able to because you weren't there. And you will see that on the nightly news, one of the things when blanking on his name, I just said it. When Caleb Gardner comes on with the Channel 12 Eyewitness News to do his report, he mentions that the police chief, Marcus Tolliver, has already put out a request for these heroes to provide a way to get in touch with them. The other thing you'll get to see, because you're in full-on research mode and full-on, is as they're doing interviews, man on the street stuff, people are excited. I mean, they're terrified, but there's a lot of like, wow, we want to know more about these guys, and we have bona fide superheroes. That's kind of amazing. We never have. So
we're a real city now.
Take that, Smallville.
So Seth, what are you up to while that's all going on?
Oh, are we talking to me? Sorry.
Yes.
Checking over the suit because I know it took a little bit of damage, so I need to make sure that the soldering iron that I threw across the room is still working. And
it does.
And then check over the exterior of the suit and work on that a little bit.
Okay.
And at some point, I will send Marshall a text.
Okay.
Of this is Seth with an address to the lab and an 8-digit code for the keypad to enter. The code is 6345779 2. If anybody can figure out what that is, I'll be impressed.
Get a no prize.
The prizes, I will be impressed.
If anyone can specifically figure out what what that is and put it in the chat and get it confirmed by Wiki, I will allow you to give someone a hero point.
I've already forgotten the number sequence.
Yeah, me too. Like, man. I know there was like a 7, maybe a 2.
Why don't you give us that number sequence again, Wiki?
It is 6345779
Yeah, already lost it again.
It's in the chat.
Oh, okay. Jinx.
Oh, also, Aaron, I don't know if you caught, but Flash wanted to send me a hero point. Due to their sub. Also, thank you, Flash.
I did miss that. Thank you, Flash, for giving Alex a hero point. I will give that to him right now.
I don't think I acknowledged it publicly, but thank you so much for subscribing and spending some time with us for your evening tonight. We appreciate it.
Indeed. All right. So, that covers what everyone has been doing. So, Marshall, yes, the pizza has arrived. Pizzas, actually. Most of 2 pizzas gets completely consumed, and then within seconds of each other, you get a pair of text messages. I'll say you get the one from Cephalopod first, only by a few seconds, but
oh, crud. My car's still down near Yellow Brick Road.
That is true.
No, I'll take an Uber, but before I do that, I'll have Lisa look with me. We'll check out what Peter asked me about. See if I can find anything on the explosion to see if I can identify what it may or may not have been.
Sure. So
I have physics, I have mechanical engineering, and I have perception.
sure, you were also there. The explosion clearly came from within and blew outward. It wasn't an implosion, it was an explosion.
And it didn't, I don't remember seeing like a missile hit it or something.
You do not. Nope. And if memory serves, I feel like you had actually gone over towards the truck at one point.
Yeah, I think I was heading that way and then got sidetracked with disaster relief.
So I will say that you would have gotten a glimpse of the fact that the interior of the truck looked like there were storage tanks inside of it. Which also clearly looked like they had been ripped open from the inside.
Right.
So your guess is you would guess that something that it was carrying exploded.
But without having time to look through it and and forensic it, I don't know if it just exploded because of a bad combination or it got jostled, or if somebody put a device in there.
That is true. Yeah, you would need to get to actually examine it to know that.
Okay.
But definitely it exploded from within, not because something hit it, not because there was an implosion, not because there were you wouldn't think there was a bomb underneath it. It clearly looked like it originated from the interior of the storage area of the truck.
Okay. I will save Peter's text or save Peter's number under Peter, not under Portal. I will text him back and say, I gotta look, we can because I don't have all your answers, but we'll talk about it the next time we're together.
Thumbs up emoji.
Okay.
And then I will Uber to get my car, and I will take my car to the address that Professor Cephalopod sent me.
All right. So you will drive over to, it's a bay of storage units, but you find the one that you're looking for. You go over to it, enter the code, and I feel like that's probably a good place for us to go ahead and take our break for the night. So we will pick up with the heroes as they continue to try to figure out what the hell just happened. In about 5 minutes, we're going to get a drink and
bio break.
Yep. And
What's in the storage?
Thanks for coming and watching and sticking with us. And if you look down in the corner over there, you will notice that there is a code for the Green Ronin online store. If you use the code USPGR, you will get 5% off any purchases made at their store. And we will get a little bit of a kickback that will help keep us on the air. So we'll see you guys after the break. Thanks.